Hello, 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 and welcome to the College of Creation. My name is Dan.
And my name is Michael.
And we are Dungeons & Dragons DMs who love to homebrew items, spells, creatures, and features for D&D, and this is a show where we make brand new homebrew every single episode based on prompts that we get from our listeners. And this week we have been tasked with making some more mechanics, some more like high-level mechanic things. We've been tasked with making martial utility features.
Yeah, it's a strange power divide because if you want to do everything with one character, you can. If you play a spellcasting class, like you can play a swords bard, or you can play a bladesong wizard. And dip your toes into every pool that's available. That is not possible with a barbarian or a rogue or a fighter. So utility is always welcome. I will say I may have taken the easy way out this week. I started writing a bunch of features, and then I hated the layout of all of my things, so I changed them all to items.
Hey.
So I did stick with one of my original ideas, but I have 3 items today instead of actual mechanical features. But it still beats the brief most of the way,
Yeah.
I think.
You know, okay, we've said it before. Sometimes it's just a thing that gets the wheels turning. I think this one was
a gateway to the actual creation.
Yeah. I think this one was interesting because I actually don't know if we got this prompt before the 2024 rules drop. We've been collecting these prompts for quite a while.
Yeah.
So some of them that are coming up now
before 2024
have been sitting in the hopper for quite a long time. And so when I was going about this, I, was struggling to hit it because they have actually added quite a bit of utility to at least the main 2 that you think of when you think of martials are like fighters and barbarians. And they added some utility there. I really appreciate the tactical mind feature that has been added to the fighter, which allows you to use your second wind to boost some of your ability checks instead. And then they also added some special features to barbarians, which allow you to add your strength to various checks that it would be reasonable to assume you are using strength to do this. Intimidation, acrobatics, I think, is one of them.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Brutal strike also. The skill-based things coupled with brutal strike, giving a lot of subclass specific things for brutal strikes, has kind of increased the breadth for barbarians as well.
Yeah, I have a barbarian player in one of my games who he loves to find ways to not play a barbarian. He says it all the time that like he really is enjoying playing a barbarian. He says it all the time that he's really enjoying playing a barbarian who does not at all act like a barbarian or behave mechanically like a barbarian. He resists going into rage. And really likes to find unique utility ways to deal with battles and with the world in general. And I just love that so much, but he is sort of playing against the system, right? In some ways. Yeah, I think these adjustments to Barbarian made it a little bit easier for him to play into those things in some cases.
Sure. I think at large, the 2024 rules made it a bit easier and more of a flexible, intentional decision to kind of go in any direction that you want. In particular, taking the ASIs out of the species and putting them in backgrounds was huge, because you ended up being able to really compartmentalize what you do. Any orc can be brilliant. Any gnome can be tough and sturdy. Whereas with the 2014 rules, regardless of your class, like if you're a barbarian, if you're not playing a Goliath or a bugbear or a dwarf why are you or a half orc, I guess, was the biggest one. Like, why are you playing a barbarian? So now with these rules, it's kind of even the playing field for a lot of players, which is nice.
There is something that has come up with the advent of the way the backgrounds are structured now and the ASIs, the ability score improvements they give now, where that optimization conversation has moved away from focusing strictly on like, well, you've got to be this race class combination if you want to be viable whatsoever. I think that optimization crowd has instead latched on to the backgrounds. And I don't know if you've caught some of this, that it's all over the place, where like, in many cases, it turns out farmer is the most logical choice for, anything that's even vaguely strength or constitution based.
Yeah, you get strength and constitution, and you get the tough origin feat,
Right.
which really is stacking a lot on top of each other. You're very powerful at level 1. But today we are not here to talk about backgrounds at all. It does
although I did almost get there.
It does inform. Yeah, it does inform the prompt a little bit, because we are trying to expand the utility prowess of our martial classes.
Martials it is. We're only dealing with martials. I only exclusively went with barbarians, fighters, monks, and rogues. Those were the only people I addressed today.
Totally fair. Yeah.
Michael, start us off.
So this week, like I said, I started with some frameworks. I felt the urge to stray away from the more serious kind of tight mechanical things that I've been doing the past couple weeks. So I threw most of what I started with out.
Okay.
Yeah, about halfway through the week, and I recycled it into 3 items. They're all very silly. Their names are other things, and they don't do the thing that the things are in real life. So if you would, please open your document. I have 3 items for you that I loosely have titled Martial Puns.
Okay, grand.
One of them is kind of a catch-all. It requires attunement by a creature who learns a weapon mastery or martial arts. So all of the martials plus rangers and paladins, this is open to them. One of them is barbarian exclusive, and one of them is monk exclusive. So we will start with this first item here. This is called the Coat of Arms.
All right.
This is a rare, wondrous item. Again, this requires attunement by anyone who can learn martial arts or a weapon mastery.
Nice.
This hardy leather coat comes standard with a pouch full of rubber, cloth, glass, and other materials in its inside pocket. The pouch contains enough materials to craft each of the magical arms listed in the table below 1 time each. Once an arm is crafted, it can be sewn onto the back of this coat, at which point it becomes animated. Each arm listed in the table requires a number of unconsecutive hours to craft and possesses a specific magical property that can benefit you. You can't have more than 3 arms attached to this coat at one time, and if you remove an arm to make room for a new one, it can't be reattached. So when you buy this coat, it just comes with a bag of stuff inside of it. I have a D6 table down below this here with the names of 6 arm choices, the amount of hours it would take to craft that arm, and the property that each arm would give you as a benefit.
Nice.
The first one is the most in-depth. It's called the Artful Arm. This is an arm that becomes proficient with an artisan's tool of your choice. You can use the utilize action of said tool as a bonus action instead of an action, but it cannot craft. That is one thing that I said. I think that's probably too strong if you just have arms like crafting all day.
Yeah, sure.
But the ability for all of the tools connected to this arm is intelligence for you, and you can attach an artful arm to your coat more than once. So this is the only one that you can kind of do more than just one time. So you can have 3 different tools attached to your back if you
Working
want
away.
to spread out. Yeah, if you want to do tools. And that just takes 1 hour to sew and attach onto your coat.
Are these like creatures that do their own thing?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Hey,
I'm not sure. I think it kind of becomes clear in each property, like
yeah,
the threshold at which you could use them. Like
yeah.
this one specifically, it's really only uh the utilize function. So like if you have jeweler's tools, for example, you excel at discerning the value of fine gemstones, and
Hmm.
that's all that it does. So if you want to do that as a bonus action, make that arm. That's great. Perfect. The
Nice.
second one is called Close Call. Once per long rest, you can use reaction to have all damage that you receive from another creature's reaction. So if you get hit by an attack of opportunity, you can use this arm to slap them away and only take half damage. Just kind of like watching your back, the arm.
Yeah.
Ready to strike. The third one is called Fend. This one can just equip a shield.
Oh, cool.
It is proficient with and equip a non-magical shield. You're not looking at like crazy high-powered shields here, just the base shield. But if you need an extra AC boost, you have a third arm that can just hold a shield for you. Number 4, this is called Resident. This is once per short or long rest. This arm can inject you with a potion of healing as a free action. So some free healing.
Nice.
Whenever you need it, shoots you with some healing potion. Number 5 is Lasso. This is a super long and pliable arm. It can extend to a length up to 15 feet and grants advantage on any d20 test made to grab onto a ledge, door, or object not being carried or worn. So if you fall off the side of a cliff, you can shoot your arm out, and you have advantage on the save, the dex save.
Great.
Or yeah. So any d20 test, not just checks or saves. And the 6th one is called Quill. This is when another creature hits you with a melee attack, you can choose to deal piercing damage to the creature with no action required, a number of times equal to your con modifier per long rest. So you have a spiny hand that is kind of there to help you deal some extra damage.
A coat of arms.
A coat of arms.
I like it.
It's a coat with arms attached. This is the one that I had as an original idea, and I was gonna make it like a mechanic that it was like a thing that was able to be an optional rule for all martial classes. It was very complicated, and I did not like it, so I removed most of the fat and just made it an item.
Fair.
But I do like it in this form. I think it's funny and not bad. The next item down below that, this is called Rage Bait. This is a potion, various rarities. It comes in a few different rarities. This potion has no effect on you if you are not a barbarian. Bright red mist swirls vigorously, stoppered up within a long glass tube. As part of a bonus action used to rage, you can release the mist from the tube as it flits around you in a 5-foot emanation. While you are raging, if another creature attempts to hit an ally standing within the emanation, they must make a con save. On a failure, the creature must move to you and target you with the attack instead.
Nice.
So this is just aggro, right? You're
I like
just
it. Yep.
diverting attacks to you, the barbarian, who should, in theory, have the most HP in a lot of situations. So this helps divert that. It also helps keep your rage going, right? I also included a table just below that with some additional effects for higher rarities. As written, that's an uncommon potion. The rare version, also, when you use this potion, you gain 10 hit points equal to 1d10 plus your barbarian level. The very rare version, all effects prior plus the swirling emanation increases to 10 feet instead of just 5. And nice. The legendary version, all effects prior plus the inciting creature makes the con save at disadvantage.
Yeah, that would fit in very nicely with our episode a long time ago of features that draw aggression from enemies. But I like it. I think it's pretty good, and yeah, I like that it's consumable as well. It's not like built into a class feature or subclass feature or anything.
Last of 3 here, I call this the Punch Clock. This is a rare item. Requires attunement by a monk. This dull, unassuming pocket watch tracks the number of your unarmed strikes that successfully hit other creatures. Once you complete a long rest, you gain temp hit points equal to the total, and the tracker resets to 0.
Ooh.
That's it. The more you punch, the more temp hit points you get for the next day.
Wow.
And that's the whole item.
That's pretty great. I like that quite a bit. I mean, it's very simple, but it's just like it, and obviously it would require the monk to keep track of that. But honestly,
yeah,
it's a pretty good reward. I think that's pretty fun.
Right. Yeah. Well, and considering there are some games that you don't long rest every session. So
right.
there are a lot of cases where you would be tracking this over multiple weeks, and you get a big stack of temporary hit points like 2 months later. if you put in the time to track it, like, just keep that tally, man. Just keep a tally in the corner of your notebook.
Yeah, just like have that going.
Get into the habit of anytime you punch, flurry of blows. Yeah, give me a couple more tallies. Great. And then you go to sleep. You are fully revitalized with your 35 temporary hit points or whatever it is.
I love it.
I don't know what the median amount of punches a monk would do per long rest. I have no knowledge of that.
Well,
this might
let's
be totally
see. I mean,
broken. I'm not sure.
If we consider, the like standard classic 5 encounter adventuring day, not all of those obviously being combat encounters, but maybe 2 of those
Correct.
are combat encounters. Consider perhaps 3 to 4 rounds per at whatever level you're giving rare magic items to a monk. I'm thinking 4 hits per turn likely is a decent average. Certainly no less than 3. Let's figure out that math really quickly.
And then depending on how long your combat goes, a typical combat is between 3 and 6 rounds ish. So on average, a 4-round combat with 4 punches around. You're 16 to 20 punches per
16
combat.
16 to 20 punches.
A day.
Consider that maybe to some degree, like some of those are gonna miss. What, like the statistical ideal is that you are succeeding about 60% of the time. But I think at the level that you're having a rare item, you're probably a little above that. So maybe 70% of the time you're hitting. If we're generous and say you're punching 20 times between long rests, and you're hitting 70% of those, that's probably in the neighborhood of about 14 hit points.
13 to 16. It's not nothing.
If you consider that like certain, subclasses or certain other features and things can grant pretty regular temporary HP equal to like a class level at a certain point and stuff like that, like that doesn't feel crazy to me at all. It does feel like a good reward for like going hard and like really getting in there. I would give this a personality. Absolutely. I would make this like maybe not sentient, but like robotic in a way that like it has a personality. I would like that. I would enjoy that. Like a little bit of like a Rotom sort of situation.
It does feel very Rotom. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like it. I like the puns. The puns are very good, and I appreciate that you brought a very light atmosphere once again today. I do feel like it's been a minute since you came with something with that level of whimsy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even the TV verse, the Multicam patron was silly, kind of in conceit, but the mechanics were pretty sound and complex.
Indeed,
this one is
true.
Just like, just punch.
Yeah,
just keep punching.
I like it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
well, I went a little bit more on the serious side. Okay. I had a tough time here with this one. Like I said, I sort of was like, oh, well, there are some things that they've already added, which is nice. It's very good. And then started thinking about, well, what are the other utility things we think about and depend on our casters for. And I feel like so much of it is like transportation and the like bits of magical safety and storage, things like the magnificent mansion or the tiny hut or the rope trick or the it's things like that, which is like, well, you can't just give marshals the ability to do that kind of thing because it's like
right,
it is magical in nature, and additionally, that's part of what like draws you to a magical caster instead of a marshal,
right?
Because marshals will never run out of sword slots, right? So, what do we do to give them some utility that's outside of those pieces of the game that feel too deeply magical, and how to do that? And I ended up feeling like, well, the best way for me to do that is to bring in some more optional features. I considered feats, but I don't think anything I was thinking of was strong enough to demand that a character or a player choose to take it instead of a different feat or instead of an ability score improvement. And none of them felt like they fit very nicely into an item box very well. They fit most cleanly into the actual class breakdown. So I did some optional features. So if you would open up your document, it's very simply called More Optional Features. And I will start with the Barbarian. I have formatted this incorrectly. It's fine. We'll start with the Barbarian. And I have two things that I have added to the Barbarian kit. They're both fairly minor, but very utilitarian. And so they don't replace anything. They just go alongside of existing features. At level 6, you get the Practiced Laborer feature. While your rage is active, your carrying capacity and the amount of weight you can drag, lift, and push is doubled. This has always felt like something that should just be like, it's not a thing in the rules at any point, but it always feels like, that's what you want to do when you rage, is just like, now I can lift this car, this cart. We don't have cars, but
well, I mean, rage, especially in the 2014 version of the rules, felt very exclusively combat targeted, right? I think it's a little bit less so with some of the allowances granted to the barbarians in the 2024 rules, but still, largely with your rages per long rest, you're going to wait and rage the first round of combat and use it for the combat, and then you're going to save it for the next time you find something to fight. And that has always felt really strange, because barbarians aren't just getting mad when they see somebody that they want to hit with their hammer, right?
Yeah, and I think there are definitely some subclasses that also in the past have like added like additional damaging like auras when you rage. There's the Storm Herald. That really does pigeonhole it into only one thing, but I don't know about you. I constantly have players who want to use their rage outside of combat to heighten their intimidation factor, to be able to like, use an athletics check more strongly to break down a door or whatever it is. And I just feel like there should be another option that like, if you rage and you hold on to your rage, because now you can use a bonus action to keep that rage going beyond a single round of combat, right? So if we just assume that you're going to do that every time, then great, you can keep that going for its maximum amount of time, and during that time you can carry your friends and other things around if you like, or you can lift something incredibly heavy off of someone in a moment where you need to,
right?
I feel like it's good. I considered like adding a bunch more text to it to be like, you don't have any negative effects to your rage. And also, if you use it in this way, you can do it longer. And it's just like, that's too much and it complicates rage in general. I feel like this is enough, and it gets the point across for people who want to use it at their table. Additionally, at level 15, you get the Unparalleled Physique. Your dedication to peak performance means that your strength score cannot be reduced below 19.
Wonderful.
There's this old Arnold Schwarzenegger quote about like bodily strength, as like something that is truly your own. Like nobody can, it is not a possession that someone can steal from you. It is like a status symbol that is not bought or sold. It is truly just it's a signifier of your dedication. I don't entirely agree with him on all counts about a lot of his philosophy on strength and the world, but I do think that informed this feature here. That just like, yeah, a barbarian should just be like, no, at this level, you can't make me less strong than I am. I will always be this strong. Like, I am dedicated enough to make sure that I do not dip below this. So that means, no weird, like, deck of many things pulls or weird monsters that can sap strength or whatever can reduce that at all. You are always at least at a 19.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's great.
Then we jump up to the fighter, which is our first replacement feature. The level 9 feature, Tactical Command, replaces the Tactical Master feature. The Tactical Master feature being when you attack with a weapon whose mastery property you can replace that property with either push, sap, or slow, which is a fine feature, but if you already have one of those, or if you just kind of like whatever you are running with, it's not super useful or interesting to you, probably. So, if you would like, you can replace it with this. You can use the brief respite of a short rest to reassess your allies' resources. When you finish a short rest, you can take a number of the following actions equal to your proficiency bonus. And now I'm realizing that is quite powerful, so I'm going to actually say equal to half your proficiency bonus rounded down.
Yeah.
Is probably more fair, although playtesting. You can either restore one use of a limited use feature to an ally, restore spell slots to an ally up to half the maximum spell slot level they can cast, rounded down, allow one ally to change up to 3 spells on his prepared list, allow one ally to exchange one fighting style feat, or determine which direction is north, and remove any effects of being lost. Rereading this, I actually want to depower a couple of these a little bit more, probably only allow one prepared spell change, probably instead of a fighting style do a weapon mastery property instead, and probably instead of half maximum spell slot level, just like the lowest level they can cast, which would be great for a warlock, but it's a short rest, so it kind of doesn't matter for a warlock. So it just gives somebody a little bit of an extra boost.
I like it. It definitely captures the like changing your plan on the fly type of vibe that a fighter should have. These are the stakes now. We're going to pivot, and I'm going to take point on how we're doing that. This captures that really well. Nicely done. I like it.
Yeah. And then we move on to Monk. This is at level 10 as a part of the heightened focus feature, which normally adds additional effects to the 3 major things that you can spend your focus points on, which are the Flurry of Blows, Step of the Wind, and Patient Defense. I added one more that you can add onto that list at level 10, and that is Commune with Energy. This is meant to capture the idea of a monk sort of like taking a moment to just like meditate in the space that they are and like understand like where they are, what's been going on, but specifically isn't focused toward like, it's not focused toward nature. It's not focused toward like hunting or like strange creatures necessarily. It is much more focused on like the real world, the like tangible world, and the idea of like, focus. I mean, it's a little bit more tied to like the lore of Ki being this like, all-encompassing force that connects, all the humans of the world, but whatever. You can expend up to 3 focus points over a 10-minute period to sense the extrasensory vibrations of your surroundings. You learn one of the following for each focus point you spend: the location of one humanoid that you have met or seen if it is within 1 mile of you, the creature type and size of the last creature to pass through this area and how long ago it was there, the presence of any illusory magic within 120 feet of you.
Very cool.
So you kind of either know like if we need to find somebody, where are they? If something has been here and I know that it has been here, how long ago was it? Or I can sense that something passed through here. What was it? I can learn more about it, sort of just by, maybe there's a smell in the air that just changes as you meditate. And then you can also see through any illusions into the truth of what's going on. So if there is, an illusory door somewhere around you, or that's shrouded by illusory plants, but there is a passage there, perhaps you can find it. So that's just a little, outside of combat thing for the monk to be able to use.
I like that a lot. I want to play a detective monk now with with this added on. That's wonderful. That's really useful.
And then we have the rogue, which starting at level 1, I've expanded Thieves' Cant. Thieves' Cant is a thing that's in the book. It is described. It's a level 1 thing that rogues get, is that you learn one language of your choice, and you also learn Thieves' Cant. And then what Thieves' Cant is or how you can use it is never described.
It's up to every table individually.
It just and like in many ways that's fine and cool. I actually think that's great. If your rogue wants to come up with their own way that Thieves' Cant manifest, I support that entirely. I think that's great. Please let them do that. I do think it's one of those things that like is so deep in the like long lore of D&D and like this style of TTRPG that like it doesn't have any explanation in the books, because there is just sort of an assumption that's like, you all know what that is, right? Moving on. And it's like, well, but what do you do with that? And so you often find it just sort of like thrown out to the side, and maybe occasionally makes an appearance, but like is not a particularly useful thing.
Right.
Here's a thing you can do with it. This is just an idea, of course, but I do think having something there that's like, here's a utility for this is good. Thieves' Cant can be used to communicate secretly to other thieves, mercenaries, brigands, and traders of the underground. When you are in an urban environment, you can spend downtime seeking out a member of this class to gain at least one rumor, one job, or one favor.
Yeah, love that.
That at least provides a framework for a DM and a player to work with. That's like, hey, we're in this town. I know where the seedy places are. I'm going to go find out something about this town. Or I'm going to, like, we need some cash. I'm going to go find a thing that we can do. Or I think maybe I know somebody here. Let me go seek them out and try and call in a favor. Then your DM can go ham with that and give you a quest, or they can give you a lead on something, or they can give you a little bit of loot that like feels like a reward for the rogue doing the thing that a rogue does. And then we have the level 6 feature, Ear to the Ground. Your time spent as an eavesdropper and lookout has fine-tuned your hearing. The distance at which you can hear is twice what it would normally be for your creature type, which is not a metric that exists in the game, but whatever. And you do not suffer disadvantage on perception checks in dim light as long as you are not deafened.
Nice.
So your hearing makes up for your ability to not see as well. Yeah. You can kind of like clock that something is moving over in this direction and turn that way to be ready for it. Additionally, you can use a bonus action to pinpoint the location of a creature within 120 feet of you that is behind total cover. So if somebody like goes and does a hide, now this is to say they are not invisible. They cannot be invisible.
Right.
For you to do this. You don't have blind sight, but you've got like near blind sight.
And that'd be good even for a DM to like give you a quadrant, right? Like the quadrants of periphery. Like where I heard something, it's over here to like it's between 12 and 3 o'clock. Somewhere over there I heard something. Even just that would be awesome, because then it still gives you somewhere to build to. You're not just like pinpointing, oh, they're behind this barrel over there, let's all go. It's a very good natural progression to like discovery and finding a hostage, or like it can work positively or negatively, like finding a missing person. This would be excellent for that type of scenario.
Yeah, it leans into the idea of a rogue as a different kind of scout than a ranger. Right, ranger is very good at being a scout because they like can sense out the terrain. They can track things that might have passed through here. They can move more quickly through difficult terrain and things like that. Like, if you are worried about bandits on the road, like this is the guy that you want. Right. The guy who can like walk up, like be behind total cover, be hidden, and like listen and be like, oh, there is someone behind total cover right over there.
This is the John McClane that's crawling through the air ducts and discovering the plan. Wonderful, wonderful.
Anyway, all of these, feel free to put them into your game. I don't think any of them is totally game breaking at the level at which they appear. Most of them appear alongside some other features. I think the Barbarian is alongside the subclass feature, I believe, comes at 6. And then at 15, it's persistent rage. So you can, it's a longer rage than you normally have, which doesn't break anything tremendously. The fighter feature is a replacement, and the monk feature is just an addition onto an existing feature. And then the ear to the ground for the rogue. So yeah, you get your second instance of expertise at that point. So you get 2 more skill proficiencies or expertises at level 6, but that's kind of all you get beyond, a boost to your. Oh no, you don't even get a boost to your sneak attack at that level. You're still at 3d6 at 6.
Yep.
But yeah, I just enjoy, a little couple special new little things.
Yeah, you definitely fulfilled the brief much better than I did. Yeah, I like these a lot. A little more of the straight-laced route, which, history will tell us is the vibe around here. Right.
Yeah, I like that. I like the stuff you came with a lot. Especially the last one. I just feel like that's really fun. I would like to use that. So
simple.
It's great.
Sometimes the more simple things we make are the ones that actually have game viability.
It's true.
The crazier stuff, just think pieces most of the time, which are also important.
We love to see it. Well, Michael, shall we figure out what we're going to make next time?
We are, and we actually have a very cool guest coming on to the podcast next week. So we'll roll now for what we're going to do. But a friend of mine, a longtime friend of mine, his name is John, is going to be joining us on the podcast next week, who has been listening and kind of giving prompts to us since the beginning of the podcast. So this is the first time we've had like kind of a non-creator listener of the show on as a guest, which I really enjoy. Yes, we have a featured fan on the, is that what this is? A featured fan, yeah, I suppose so.
No, it's great. So. We are definitely looking forward to having John on. Good prompts coming in, so let's hope that the creations stand up to it, which I'm sure they will. Good stuff. So what are we making next time, Michael?
We are making a whatever number 6 is.
Okay, that is going to be a subclass.
Love that.
Based around cooking or food. Okay. I like it.
So we've done magical food before, but not in the form of a subclass. They were pretty specifically items that we created before, exclusively items. So this is interesting. The chef feat exists. Some loose rules for rations and things that are required for travel, like daily travel, are in the game, but not much past that. So this will be interesting. How to mechanically justify a food or cooking based subclass.
One of my favorite characters was a halfling chef by the name of Robbie Peel, and I like him so much. Big fan of him, but I was trying to play him as a paladin, and it...
Okay.
I need to come up with something that actually fits the man, you know? So maybe I will develop something that I would like to put Robbie into and see how he would fare.
Do it for Robbie.
I will do it for Robbie.
Dan, I appreciate you podding with me this week. I'm having a ton of fun being back. We've had some great prompts these last couple weeks. It's good to get back into the swing of things. It's been a while since I have flipped the script on you. Do you this week have anything to say to the people before we say goodbye?
Yes, Michael. I think that the best thing to say to the people before we say goodbye today is let them. Which is to say, there's so much discourse around tabletop role-playing games and D&D and whatever else, you know. People, you know, say, I don't ever want to play at the table of a DM who doesn't actually track monster HP and just ends the fight when it feels right. And some people say, well, I don't want to play at a table where the numbers mean everything and the RP means nothing. And some people, you know, want to play a game that's not D&D, and some other people, they like D&D and they've tried other games. They just don't want to play other games because all their friends play D&D and they like it. And you know what? Let them.
Yeah.
Their fun doesn't have to be the same as your fun.
Yeah.
Your fun is your own. The greatest thing about this game is that the experience is entirely your own. It is what you and your table make of it, and it exists in your mind only, and only in the moment that it is happening, which I think is the most beautiful and wonderful part of this game, is that each person at the table is having their own experience of fun that they can only share in bits and pieces with the other people, but that little bit is enough to keep us all coming back, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful and I love it so much. And so find that table for you, and if other people do it a different way, fine, let them do it the way that they want to do it and have their fun. If it's not hurting anyone, if it's not exploiting anyone, then great. That's good for them, and I'm happy for them.
Agreed 100%. No notes.
Well, Michael, it's been a pleasure as always.
Indeed.
Until next time, when we make some magical food subclasses, we will talk to you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.